Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz. Trevor here, joined by Thomas. As always, it is Can Day 9 and 10. We took a little bit of a break because there
Yeah,
wasn't that many
there was
interesting
barely anything. Yeah,
things. Yeah. But we'll be talking about all those things, mainly Wim Wenders making his
he's
big
back.
return. Yes, he's been doing a couple of things, but this is really the man's big return with Perfect Days. Um, and we got some more info about this movie,
Yep.
and it got some good review. Got some pretty good
Yeah.
review. It's quite exciting, quite exciting. So we'll be talking about that, a potential sale for the film, to a distributor, as well as an updated look at the Cannes standings with a couple of new entries. So let's get into it. So the first thing we should notice is that this is a 3.7.
Yeah,
Pretty
which
solid.
is pretty damn solid. Pretty damn solid. One of the better things in competition, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to take a look at this. So we have plot info. So this guy's a toilet cleaner in Tokyo, and he has the structured everyday routine, and a series of unexpected encounters reveals more about his past. So this is where we're getting all of these like 14 specific toilets in Tokyo,
Yeah.
that he's going around and cleaning, and then it's just like, a very art house character study. And
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I mean,
sure.
there was a point in time where we thought potentially, Wim Wenders, who knows what he's going to do. There was a point in time where we thought potentially it's like a bottle film in one of these toilets. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it seems that is not the case, and I'm quite glad for that. I feel like that would have been a silly concept. But yeah, does seem interesting. Does seem like a deep character study. Potentially, the lead actor can maybe get a bit of buzz at the awards festival. Yeah,
Yeah,
the festival
maybe
awards.
like can best actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So looking through up with these reviews, we got Matt Nagler here. Initially seems repetitive as it follows a dull daily routine of a toilet cleaner. But then it reveals a deeper character study with rewarding results. Beautiful. And yeah, a lot of praise for Koji Yakusho, the lead actor here. That's really the main review that I've seen. I haven't actually seen anything. There isn't a
Yeah.
Metacritic yet from anybody else, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, so not
Um,
many people have watched it. Although the people who have, as we say, seem to be liking
Seem
it.
to
So we
like it.
shouldn't be too worried when the sort of more reviews come through. Like I'm sure it will have a fairly decent Metacritic score. Hopefully in the 80s, I guess you'd be looking at for this
Yeah,
film.
I think with a 3.7, you'd be looking at like a low 80 or so.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? Just based
What?
on the premise, John Dielman.
Okay, from what I know about John Dillman, I can see that potentially, although maybe a little bit more excessive.
Yeah. Well, it's also about an hour and a half shorter.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, no, this seems really fascinating. And I think this could be a palm contender, not only because it's the return of Vendors, but also because of the distributor that is looking at. So let's take a look. Okay, so this is quite interesting. Neon are looking to pick it up. Now, this isn't confirmed, but there was a deadline report saying that there is a pending acquisition. Neon declined to comment, but it's looking pretty likely from everything that I've been reading.
Yeah, I mean Neon obviously famous for their love of Cannes. It seems like they have a budget every year and they blow it all in May.
Right.
But I guess it's just what they do. I mean, we should have probably seen it coming when they were the first person to really pick something up from the festival, that being Robot Dreams. And they just seem to be gradually picking stuff up, and very
Anatomy
good
of
to see
Fall.
good, very well reviewed stuff as well. And Anatomy of Fall.
Yeah.
And now this potentially, I guess they've seen A24 bring it home with zone of interest in terms of reviews. Potentially, they're just trying to pick up whatever they can to try and keep that Palm d'Or streak alive, as this article says. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think this will win the Palm d'Or, but it could be potentially there. It could be, as I say, it could potentially have a
Again,
show.
it's Wim Wenders. He's the previous winner. Like,
He is a previous winner. They do like to go for previous winners. They do seem to have a almost cliquey feel. I guess cliquey is probably not the right word, but that sort of feel.
yeah.
So potential. There is potential for this film. We'll have to see the Metacritic though. The Metacritic is important.
Yeah, absolutely. But if this is like a high 80, like Anatomy of Fall was, I mean, maybe. I'm not
Maybe.
ruling this out of. I think it's probably like top 5 as far as Palme d'Or competition. So
Yeah, probably. I mean, if it's top 5 in the competition, I guess, which it probably will end up as, looking at the letterbox score and sort of
likely.
initial reactions.
Likely. So yeah, no, this is pretty big. I don't think that this is an Oscars contender necessarily,
No, it doesn't
but
seem that way.
like if Neon has one, it feels like it would be Anatomy of a Fall, if I'm being honest at this point, or La Chimera when we get reviews. We'll see about that. But this honestly feels like it's least likely so far out of its can pickups, but it does feel like it could definitely be a thing for the Palm. So
Yes. Yeah.
and then just briefly, just wanted to bring this up. Movie picked up Fallen Leaves. by Aki Kaurismäki. So that's just another thing. It's not that big. This feels like it's Mubi's big thing this year. I mean, last year obviously they kind of splashed with Decision to Leave.
Yeah.
We'll see if they maybe can pick up like the Ken Loach, or if they pick up Monster. About Dry Grass, as we were speculating, could potentially be a movie thing. But
Yeah.
Fallen Leaves does make sense for them.
Yeah. I think either Monster or About Dry Grass is one of those two could make sense. As you say, this makes sense, and potentially Mubi can now launch a potential campaign to get a Finland international feature on later.
And it would make sense, like we talked about this. This does make sense as a contender.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could definitely see it. I could definitely see it. But that's it on distribution news. Let's talk about the Cannes standings. All right, not much has changed. In fact, the top 6 is exactly the same as it was a couple days ago. Zone of Interest, Killers of the Flower Moon, Anatomy of a Fall, Monster, About Dry Grass, May, December. All holding it strong. I mean, like I think Monster bumped up a point on Metacritic, and that was the only activity going on.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like a very solid block there at the top, and it's sort of the bottom that is changing. I mean, there's like maybe 3 potential things we could be looking at, maybe breaking that block. I don't know though.
I think that whether they stay the top 6 is a question, but I think that these top 6 will
stay in the top 10. Yeah, 100%.
I feel pretty good about that. But we did get something sliding in at number 7. It's not a competition title, but it's just the two of us. It stars Virginia Fira, and I've been hearing pretty good things about her performance. She just won her first Caesar last year for Revoir Paris Memories, which I've seen, and she's quite good. So very talented actress. I mean, you might also know her in things like Benedetta or Elle. So, but I don't think this will be anything. I mean,
no, it just seems to be something that's slid in there and has got some love at Cannes, which is great. I mean, just more eyes on it potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. We also had A Brighter Tomorrow, which I just unfortunately don't know that much about. It's Nanni Moretti doing it, who has had some pretty well received films. Caro Diaro, The Sun's Room, Mia Madre. So like he seems to be a pretty well respected director. I'm just unfortunately unfamiliar. But definitely would like to go back and check out some of his work. And see if he can hold on to a top 10 spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's potential. There is a couple of things being released later on this week, but there's potential there. It could still stay,
and then
especially when it gets Metacritic.
Yeah, and then we got Perfect Days, the Wim Wenders. We already talked about it, coming in at number 9. Again, it's strong. We'll see if it gets a Metacritic. If that Metacritic is like mid to high 80s, then that could potentially solidify its spot in the top 10. For now, it's kind of on the bubble. But now Neon with what, 2 things in the top 10?
Yes, they've got 2.
So pretty solid. And then at number 10, still hanging in there, we got Fallen Leaves with its 3.7 on Letterboxd. I mean, that's where the bar is now, 3.7.
Yeah, which is a fairly high bar. It's good to see. It's a
fairly top 10. Yeah, absolutely. Really nice to see. So Fallen Leaves as well, Mubi getting their pick, currently in the top 10. I would be surprised if it was able to hang on, but we'll see.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, who knows what these next sort of films will be like that are premiering in the final couple of days of Cannes. I can't believe
two more days.
The end.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost over. And the things leaving were Asteroid City, which actually dropped down to a 73 on Metacritic, so not looking great there. As well as Nature of Love and Four Daughters finally falling off.
Yeah.
So that is the Cannes top 10, and that was Cannes day 9 and 10. So tomorrow we have day 11, where we have The Old Oak and La Chimera, some of the last things premiering in competition by Ken Loach and Alice Rohrwacher, respectively. And then we got the final day, where we have Pixar's Elemental premiering as the closing night film, in addition to the awards. So lots of fun stuff there. I think there's going to be a day where we have 3 videos in a day.
Probably.
So that'll be a lot. And then also, my film, Solitary Eyes, is going to be premiering later today, this evening.
And check out, you will not be disappointed. As someone who's seen it, you will not be disappointed.
Well, you might be.
No, you won't be. You won't be.
Watch that, maybe, I guess.
No, watch it. Watch it. This is an order from me.
Okay, got the fascist over here. Tyrant.
I'm promoting your film.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Do whatever Thomas says, I guess. And maybe follow us on social media if you want. I don't. Whatever. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye now. Thank you. Bye.